Well,
Yes.
how long had they been talking to you about doing a music episode?
Well, we did a little music in the first season as well, because Dulay's character plays a music teacher, and he's a
Right.
band leader. And then of course I'm a singer, and I moonlight in between my accounting, Lillian's singing. But to know that Miss Patti LaBelle was coming, it was like Patty's coming to town. Like, I mean, I was a lot more excited than even a kid waiting for Santa Claus. It was the best thing ever to get to sing with Patti LaBelle.
Did you ask her any advice?
I actually did. I can't share all of that. I asked Patty some personal advice. She is the ultimate glamour diva, singing domestic goddess, of course, right? So she brings so much history and allure with her career that, of course, I had to pick her ear a little bit. We did a Broadway show together years ago called Fela. So, and I didn't get to talk with her as much. I think I was more shy. So it was really nice to be all grown up and get to experience Miss LaBelle.
Well, yeah, and may I just tell you, it's one of my favorite episodes, because I really think it brings your character out. I think she really comes into her own. Did you start in a church choir? Was that how you started singing?
Incidentally, I started in the choir in middle school. I was singing in middle school choirs. I sang a little bit in church. My Aunt Vivian, much love to her. She does all the church singing in my family. And she pulls me in from time to time. But I started off singing in, the chorus in middle school and the show choir, jazz hands.
Oh, well, it was meant to be, right?
Yes, and we have to. Laura's kind of shy about her singing, but Laura's a beautiful singer as well. We got to get her to
Oh,
sing on
I
an
think there's an
episode.
opening in the choir, right?
Yeah, come on,
That's
Laura.
good.
Come
But
on, let's
Laura,
bring
you get
Kim.
to
Let's
have
bring Kim to.
you get fun with Aunt Jackie, which I think is just the coolest, because we all need an Aunt Jackie in our lives somewhere,
Yes,
right?
of course.
But how is it being rebellious? Is that a fun part of this character?
It's one of the best parts of this character. I feel like Laura, myself, I've always been a pretty by the books girl, not really rebellious. So getting to play a character who sticks up for herself, like to her parents, and kind of does what she wants to do, still being respectful, but she's a rebellious little girl. So Kim is very, very fun to play.
And
I
the
think my
fashion,
favorite word is shenanigans.
shenanigans, up to some
Shenanigans.
shenanigans, right? But her clothes, she gets to have the coolest clothes.
The coolest wardrobe. I want to take everything home. I would wear most of that stuff now. Kim has such cool, and it's even in the jewelry and the skirts and the boots, and oh, I love her fashion.
But see, son, you don't get those kind of clothes. You get, it looks like a polyester. You get a lot of polyester to wear.
You know what? You know what I get? I get those waist control girdles. I love it. I'm a fan of Dita Von Teese, and she's all, the whole burlesque
Yes,
glamour,
yes, yes.
the bodices and all that stuff. So I love all that waist control. That's one of my favorite things. I love the vintage vibes of it all. So we have fun. But yeah, every day Laura comes on set and just shuts it down. Every time she just comes in and we're like, because she's giving like supermodel vibes. She walks in
Right.
with legs. You can't deny it. You cannot deny Laura and her boots and her skirts. She's undeniable.
How did you two bond on this show, and with the guys too? But how did you become that kind of mother-daughter relationship? Because it seems stronger this year.
I think we're closer. We're probably closer to each other than we hang out with each other. If we have a little moment, Laura will be like, "You want to get some dinner?" She'll send me a little text message. So I think we've just had a nice opportunity to spend time more. The pandemic is not pandemicking as much, so we were able to be together more. I think just life and being actresses, and we sneak off to the corner and have little talks.
Yes,
Wouldn't you say?
yes, for sure. I feel like all of us, season one already like bonded super well together, and then season two it just expanded even more.
So do you
Absolutely.
ask her advice or not?
Say that one more time.
Does Laura ask you advice or not?
Well, yeah, Saquon, like she's been in the industry, so I'm very, very fresh. So I will always ask for advice whenever I need, and she's helped me a lot with a lot of
Do
things.
Yeah,
any
I'm
of the
so
things
proud of her. This is like her second gig. It's like she got 2 major TV shows coming right out of school. So like I'm telling her, just take the bull by the horns and work it, girl.
Does this time period ring true at all for you? I mean, do you see things that you guys can relate to? Because it is against your, it isn't really your time period.
Oh, 100%. And I think that's what makes our show really, really beautiful is, yes, it's taking place in the 1960s, but a lot of people are still having boy issues. People are still having arguments with their parents. People are still dealing with the world then as we are now. Things are very, very, still very, very relevant no matter the time period.
Yeah, a lot of serious topics, even Roe v. Wade, which was happening in that era originally, and now it's become a topic again. The life issues, life doesn't stop lifing, you know, from the 60s decade to the 2020s decade. It's a powerful thing to be a human being in this world.
Having lived through that era, I could relate to a lot of things that you guys are doing, but it surprised me how totally different it is from the first Wonder Years. I mean, it is a total different show, but it's things that I related to because I had Black friends during that time, and I remember them pulling back, if you will, when they're with around people who were not Black, and they would just, there would be a different attitude, and I see that in this show as well, where there's just, you know, it's a little, I'm not going to confront you about this and I'll just pull back. Do you see that as well? It's just.
That's interesting. You spoke about pulling back. You know, the civil rights movement was very strong in the late 60s, in the early to mid to late, you know, I mean, we
Right.
saw so much happening in this country. And we did also have a resurgence of people fighting for their rights, for equal and fair treatment in life and not being unfairly targeted. I don't know about pulling back. I guess it depends on who you're around and what's going on, but definitely a lot of things that happened in that era are still in a place of change. Change is still happening, but also love is still happening. Picking a college is still happening. All the things that happened on the original Wonder Years in terms of family dynamic, that real family dynamic is here for our show as well. And you know, I look at it like Star Trek. There's just different universes, you know, there's different worlds and different people, you know, but I could see so many different ways that the Wonder Years could appear with different types of families.
Right. I'm so glad you're back. I really missed you, and let's get singing. Come on. That's the bottom line here. The choir is in session.
Yes.
Oh yeah. We had a lot of fun in the church, just even in between scenes. Some of the co-stars and the guest stars, there was one lady who she was in the choir and she was just hilarious. Like the characters who were in some of those scenes and watching them interact with Miss LaBelle was just, oh, it was awesome.
Well, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Great, good luck, and take all the clothes home if you can.
I'll try. Thank you.
Bruce.